What is going on, everybody? I am Rob Westerman, the third of GBP Daily, and thank you for tuning in to the Rob Westerman Show. You can find me all over the social sphere at GBP Daily. Shoot me a follow, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate that. Just click that little button. It's free. Hit me up in the DMs. I am always available to talk Packers anytime, any day, and today is Monday, January 12th. It's a new week, right? Start of the offseason for us Packers fans. And with it being a Monday, kind of has me thinking here of when the last time that we had a victory Monday or a victory Sunday with all the Saturday games we've had. We would have to go all the way back to December 7th. When we beat the Bears at Lambeau Field. Seems like a lifetime ago. Keyshawn Nixon intercepting Caleb Williams at the end to win it. That was the last time the Packers won a football game. So December 8th, the Monday after, is the last time that we've got to celebrate a Packers win. So just over a month ago, an entire month of the season, and we did not get to witness a win. Pretty dang sad. Turning the page here, Micah Parsons talking with the media today, as were a bunch of the guys at their locker clean out, and he is all positive as far as his recovery goes. He said that his rehabbers are saying he's flying through it. Also said that he would love to be back by week 1, but realistically probably will be back around week 3 or 4. So good news for that. And with that, even if he is back around week 3 or 4, he'll probably be on quite the snap count for a while before setting him loose 100%. I imagine whatever the most cautious way to go about bringing him back will be, the Packers will probably do the next most cautious thing in making sure he is 110% ready to go before rolling him out there full force. Also with Micah, he dropped a big endorsement for Matt LaFleur when asked about wanting him as his head coach. Said that he reached out to Matt when all the talk about him and his future was being brought up and talked about. He told Matt LaFleur that part of the reason that he agreed to come to Green Bay was because he was the coach. So if Micah is on board, who am I to disagree, right? Tucker Kraft. Also in the same boat, he said he is ahead of schedule for his ACL rehab and didn't go much more into detail, but said he hopes to be ready for the start of the season. I expect him to be ready for the start of the season, if not very shortly after. And he also endorsed Matt and said he wanted him as his head coach. So sounds like the guys want him back. Sounds like Ed Policy wants him back. As long as they can agree on a number as far as his contract goes. Expect Matt LaFleur to be our head coach for the foreseeable future, unless there's some sort of stagnant with the contract, which could always be a possibility. But all things are pointing for Matt to return, to sign a contract extension. We shall see. Follow me on social media. You know I'll be posting everything as it all comes out. So, Zach Tom. There is a reason that he has not played since the Broncos game, and that is because he has a partially torn patellar tendon. He is planning on possibly having surgery soon on it, so just another hit this year with injuries, and he'll be rehabbing from that all the way up to training camp as well. So we'll be pretty banged up to start the season next year already. Zach Tom, Micah Parsons, Tucker Kraft, all sort of maybe being ready for either the start of the season or shortly after. So, all right. I want to give a big shout out to TickPick for their partnership with myself this year. Whether it's Packers tickets, which we all knew all season long, or whether it's Bucks tickets this winter, or Brewers tickets this summer, or Badgers tickets this winter as well. TickPick is the cheapest every single time. You will not find cheaper tickets elsewhere. If so, they will refund you 110% of your money back. Same tickets as everybody else, and TickPick is the cheapest every single time. So shout out to TickPick. They are the best in the biz. Let's hop into the comment section here, shall we? And as always, if you want to be a part of the show, give me a call on the Nicolet Law hotline, 319-242-2332, the Midwest personal injury law firm that actually shows up when you need them. If you have been hurt in a crash, fall, or another accident, the last thing you want to deal with is the insurance companies and paperwork. Nicolet Law takes that off your plate so you can focus on healing up. They walk you through your options. They handle the insurance companies and fight to get you what is fair. No upfront fees, no guesswork, just local attorneys who have your back. Call 1-800-NICOLET or visit nicolet.com. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you did not know already, I am live every day talking Packers with you fine folks, right? Just chatting it up. No insider. I'm not an insider. I'm not a beat reporter. I'm not a film analyst. I am just a fan like yourself, chopping it up. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you could subscribe to the YouTube channel, I would greatly appreciate that as well. My man, Nick in the house. Could you imagine another playoff game with LaFleur as coach? That would be the definition of insanity. Yeah, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And I get where you're coming from. I do hope, and I assume Matt is coming back. With that, I hope there is a little bit of a cleaning house taking place with the offensive coordinator, with the offensive line coach, Luke Butkus, Adam Stenovich as the OC. I feel like just hasn't performed up to par for whatever his job is. It seems like Matt is very overwhelmed and trying to do too many things at once. And yeah, I feel like he needs a better supporting cast to go along with himself to handle the everything that comes with being a head coach on game day. You see him calling plays, doing all of that. You also see him calling timeouts and doing clock management, which he has not been very good at. And I think he needs a better supporting cast because I do expect him to get the contract extension. It seems like that's where everything is going towards. So really no point to entertain any other option. Before yesterday, maybe we could have been doing that. But today it sounds like all signs are pointing towards Matt LaFleur returning. But we shall see. Like I said earlier, Nick, the contract still has to be agreed upon between Ed Policy and Matt LaFleur. So hopefully there is no stagnant thing going on there. If Matt wants more than what Ed's offering, he may decline. I just don't see something like that taking place. But as I said earlier, I will be posting all of the updates as soon as they come out. And so, yeah, keep it here, GBP Daily, on the social channels. I got you covered. Thank you, Nick, for hopping in. Appreciate you. What else we got? Tristan, I, for one, am glad Matt is most likely going to be back. You're not alone, Tristan. As I was talking about earlier, sounds like the majority of the guys are with you as well. And I do understand that they wouldn't say anything different, I don't think, if they felt different. But it does sound like they genuinely want him as their guy. I didn't mention Jaden Reed's comment earlier, but he echoed the same thing as Micah and Tucker. He said that, quote, he belongs here. The past 3 years I've been here, I've been in the playoffs every year. He's created a winning atmosphere. I think he's a great coach. So clearly the guys who have gotten asked about it have given Matt their full support, which is to be expected. So the talks of losing that locker room or anything related to that, which I haven't seen a ton of, is not valid. So the guys want Matt back. Thank you, Tristan. Haley, so Malik is gone, right? Unfortunately, yes, Haley. Malik's time as a Packer is over. Nothing official, of course, but some team out there is going to give him starting quarterback money, and Green Bay obviously is not. So I do know of a few folks out there that would rather have Malik be trotting out there instead of Jordan, but that will not be the case, which is good for Willis. You know, he's earned it. Every single time that he's been called upon, he has balled out. Every single time. Not once every few games he's been out there, not he's not showing promise every once in a while. He's shown that he can be a starter in this league each and every time that he's been out there for us. So good for Malik. I hope he gets a big-time contract, and I hope he can thrive wherever he lands. Maybe that's in Miami. Maybe that's in Arizona. Who knows? But wherever Malik Willis lands, I hope he can do well. What else we got? My man King AJ in the house as always. I don't want Matt fired. I want Rich fired, Stenovich fired, Nixon, Gary, McManus, Banks all cut. This team lacks discipline, competitiveness, toughness. We haven't won anything in 4 years. King AJ, you're speaking facts, my man. I am lockstep with you. Bisaccia, Stenovich, Nixon, Gary, McManus. I would not mind if they all were not on the Packers or part of the coaching staff next year. Aaron Banks is where it gets difficult, right? I don't know the exact numbers, but I think if we cut him, we'll have ended up paying him, if we cut him, like $30 million or something like that for this 1 year, which was absolutely awful. He was a huge miss, him and Nate Hobbs. Nate Hobbs more so due to injury, which was his MO in his career. I know when we signed him shortly, kind of in place of Jair, so to speak, right? I think he missed more games than Jair did over the past few seasons. So Nate Hobbs, no surprise there that he missed time due to injury, but he was talking about being one of the best players in the defense for the Packers next year, and that was at his locker today after locker cleanout. So Nate Hobbs, I am still on board with. Hopefully he can stay healthy, and if so, I think he'll be okay. But but Aaron Banks, huge miss. The offensive line as a whole, and I know Elton Jenkins went down, Zach Tom went down, or Zach Tom has been out for a few weeks. Sean Ryan went down late in that game. The offensive line was cheeks, especially on Saturday night. And Rasheed Walker, tough game by Rasheed Walker. I follow a lot of folks that are a lot smarter than me in the film analysis department. And yeah, most of them have said, hey, he single-handedly ruined 2, maybe 3 drives, which is just brutal. So Rasheed Walker, one of the bad spots along that offensive line. So I'm with you, King AJ. The toughness aspect is very, very clear about them lacking that. So got to get some more Mike Daniel-esque type of guys, right? Jordan Love gets his head bobbled off the ground in the Denver game. The offensive linemen do nothing. Nobody does anything, which is just soft. And then you fast forward to Chicago. He gets his bell rung, gets concussed, and nobody does a thing. Like, I don't understand. We have a bunch of softies along that offensive line. And I know Josh Jacobs said, he should have done something. He was going to do something. And, you didn't. And that's the problem. So we need some toughness on this football team because we are lacking it big time. My man Chris in the house. If Matt stays, major changes on the coaching staff. Completely agree. Also, Goody needs to be held accountable. Not much in the cupboard. Yeah, I get it. His criticisms are fair for sure, but the guys that he drafted, right, did pretty dang well Saturday night. Matthew Golden, what do you have? 3 or 4 catches for a touchdown, 84 yards. Jordan Morgan played well. I think he only allowed like 1 pressure the whole game. And then Lucas Van Ness had a great game on Saturday night as well. So those are bright spots and positives when talking about Brian Gutekunst. And sure, he's got some criticisms, but Goody, I think, is 100% safe for the foreseeable future. I believe he will be actually getting more power with Ed Policy coming into the scene, giving some more power to Brian Gutekunst for the foreseeable future. So thank you, Chris, for hopping in. Appreciate you. SJ Hep in the house over on YouTube. Lord, please let that be Gary's last game. SJ Hep, you and Eli are lockstep here. Eli says, thoughts on Rashawn Gary? I think he's gone, and so does SJ Hep here. I just don't see how you finish a year the way he did and want to have him back on your team. You know, the whole second half of the year, and I saw this from, I believe, Ross Uglin. Maybe it was Zach Cruz. I can't remember. He didn't tackle anybody behind the line of scrimmage for the whole second half of the year, which is just insane. So there's clips of him jogging during plays. It just baffles me. I don't know what happened with Rashawn early on. I thought maybe he was dealing with some sort of injury. But when Matt was asked about that just a few weeks ago, he said, there's no hidden injury, and then went on to say, everybody on the defense is play better, all that. And so, yeah, I don't know what happened, but it is crazy to think about the drop-off that he had during the second half of the year. It's a bummer because, he's carried the G, through and through during his time as a Packer. He's embraced being a Packer. The mindset, every time he spoke to the media, it seemed like it was always there, from what we as fans could tell, he was always putting in the work, training hard. But for some reason, it just didn't translate on the field for the second half of this year. And unless he takes a pay cut, I don't see him coming back. So, yeah, tough one. Tough. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me today. Thank you again for tuning in. Always love talking Packers with you guys. Hit me up on social media at GBP Daily. Subscribe to the YouTube channel before you go. I would greatly appreciate that. It's free. Hit that button right down there. I greatly appreciate that. Hit me up on social media. Shoot me a DM. I'm always available to talk Packers anytime, any day. Any sort of interaction helps myself and helps the page. I will be back and at it again tomorrow. Thank you again for tuning in. Have a great rest of your Monday, and I will catch you guys later. Thank you.